Hi and welcome back to another series special of Serious Debates. We're on episode 2. Today, on the left of me, I'm joined by Millie and Chloe, and on the right of me, I've got Madison and Elliot. Just here, we've got some breaking news about Prince Andrew losing his military titles, so I can guarantee there'll be more on that in future episodes. But to start with, how is everyone today?
Fab. Good.
I am doing wonderfully.
Good.
Oh, I don't know. That sounded like really sarcastic. That was like,
Wonderful.
again.
Yeah, hello. And this is Madison, who's from college too. So we're in this now, collabing. So
Collab.
yeah, exactly. We're in these debates.
Cool. So let's get into our first topic. So first, I want to talk about social media, like the positives, negatives. Like, what are your guys' opinion? What do you think about that?
I think it's mixed, very, very mixed. Because, like, in a way, we were all brought up on the internet. You know what I mean? Like, we are the generation that is just internet.
Gen Z.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It depends what you mean by, right, what are we talking about with social media? Because it's very broad. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Are we talking about, is having a social media account good or bad? Is using it too often good or bad? Like,
Okay,
what area are we going into? Or are we just saying in general, is it good or
I
bad?
would say in general, but like, let's start with maybe like with something like, let's start with having like a social media account. Like,
Okay.
what is the positives of having one? What's the negatives
Okay,
of having one?
pros and cons.
Yeah.
Pros of having an account. Keep in contact with people. You
Can make new friends.
Make new friends. Show yourself off.
Yeah.
Feel
Make
self-confident.
yourself feel bougie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then
Make
let's
your
think
life
about
look
the opposite of that,
amazing.
Yeah.
Right, so like people uploading pictures and stuff, like don't you think that's also got a negative to it? Like, you know, comparing yourself to others, like you've got to think of that side of that as well.
Yeah, that is true. And you can feel self-conscious on the contrary as well. Like maybe you do feel really confident one day, maybe you feel very self-conscious another day. You can make friends, but then you can also make enemies. Or maybe people just really insult you.
Make enemy.
Yeah.
I mean, I find
Like
it
enemy.
quite fun. I find it quite fun making enemies on Instagram
I
sometimes.
can't.
Because, like,
Why?
in a way, like, say there's a post about something like slightly controversial, say like
Okay.
abortion, and I find people in the comments just saying absolute garbage, and I'm just there like, okay.
But why argue if, like, with
Well,
these
I
random
just
people?
find it. In a way, it's like I like introducing people into new ideas and like other point of views and perspectives. But a lot of people can be quite close-minded.
Yeah, but do you think your one comment will make them change?
Definitely not. But
That's what I mean,
that's
that's
up
why-
to it's up to the person. But I
Yeah.
just like.
At the end of the day as well, there's a lot of people on social media, like so many people are going to come to that person for that one comment. So it's not going to be just like, for example, it's not going to be just Millie replying to them, it's going to be like a whole variety of people.
Exactly,
true.
exactly.
I
It's
still don't
kind
think
of
that
like,
those people will change.
Definitely not.
Yeah, but you can still talk to
I have
them.
had some
Yeah.
people. It depends on the person, because I've had some people say like, "Oh, thank you for your point of view. It's made me look at this, or it's made me look at that." And then there's some people that are just like,
Some
"No,
people
I'm
are
And then
not
they
gonna
just try
do
to
it."
shove their point
You're
of view
a
in your
woman.
face.
Yeah.
Literally.
No,
I've literally had
literally.
people be like,
yeah,
"You're
that's
a
the thing
woman.
also
Stop
about arguments,
talking."
because then you're not really. Have you ever had an actual proper argument, or has it always led to insults and sexism and racism?
Yeah.
I've had like,
come on.
I've had a couple of people like. Sounds like I just do this on the daily. I don't constantly argue with people, guys. But like every now and then, like I'll just see something. I'm like, maybe I should just tell them this in case they didn't know. Some people are understanding, so say like. Often like younger children, if I'm like, oh, maybe don't do that because that's that.
The Roblox account.
Roblox kids are scary. I stay away from those.
Okay, right.
But
Well,
no.
that's right. You argue with people online. Do you argue with people online?
I don't.
Georgia, do you argue with people online?
No, not really.
Do you argue?
Not really.
So it's just me.
Is it just me? Stop.
It's just me then.
Because
If
I
saw
sound like so
something that was
mean
completely,
now.
like out of order, I would say something.
Yeah.
Like,
But I would never
That's more what
comment
it
on
is. That's more what it is. If I see something that just does not sound right at all, it's normally like it's not always political things. It
It's
can be
normally
like
just really extreme things.
Yeah, or if someone's commented something really horrible on someone's photo, like say like I don't know, someone
done.
said something
Okay,
quite
yeah, I can agree
ignorant.
with
I'm
that. If
like,
it's someone like-
that's not right.
Yeah, if it's and also if it's like someone you know, or like
Yeah.
if it's like or if like a friend of a friend and they said something bad. Okay, I can see why you do that. If it's a complete stranger though, you're never going to see them again in your entire
Yeah.
life. ever.
The thing is,
I think they
also,
just like it.
If they're saying something that's completely wrong, like surely it's still like a morally correct thing to like correct them in their
Yeah,
I just don't think for a
kind of
text
can't leave
message-
them untouched because I feel like a teacher.
I just don't think if they've lived their life that long, I don't think a single comment would change them.
No.
I just feel
definitely
bad.
not.
Like I'd type it out and then I'd be like, yeah, but then they're gonna see that and then they're gonna think I hate them and I don't, and I just delete it and I'm like,
I'm
just gonna stay out of it.
Stranger on the internet, like again,
Yeah.
you're not going to see them again. So why do you care so much about what they think of you?
I don't
Exactly.
care about what they think of me. I just don't want to be
I'm
like.
not-
I
I'm
don't
not
want to
offended
upset
by
anyone, so I
anything,
just
but
stay
I'm
out
saying,
of
like,
it.
If you're going to comment, why care about what they think of you? 'Cause
Yeah. I'm
And then they
a
are.
very emotional person. I care about what
Yeah.
everyone thinks about
okay,
me.
yeah, that's fine.
But
Yeah.
no, I
Again,
think,
this is a problem with social media.
Yeah.
That's got us worrying
Yeah.
about what other people think of us.
Yeah, I
really,
guess.
think.
Yeah, okay, yeah. From all that side, yeah, I can agree with that. Because I'd say I am too. Kind of worried
Yeah.
about what everyone thinks about you, obviously.
I think that's another problem with having a social media account. You want to one-up it with everyone else's. It's like, yeah, I want to take this photo because that's like better than theirs. Or
Like you're
whatever.
constantly kind
But
of comparing to like.
yeah,
everything
you're
on there.
you're constantly
Yeah.
trying to like reach those standards and like excel from them as well. And that.
Okay, new question. Have you ever deleted social media?
so
Yeah.
many times.
Okay.
So many times. I'll go through a phase where I'm just so fed up with it. I'm like, I'm deleting it for a month. I'm doing a social media cleanse. The next day I get Instagram again because I'm bored.
You're never gonna
No,
believe
So
it.
you've
the
never,
only one-
like, you've never deleted it completely for like a month. You've never managed to get that far.
No,
I did.
haven't.
I think the most I did was like 2 weeks.
I
And that was all
deleted-
your social media accounts.
If we don't count TikTok, then
I deleted. I've never deleted anything more than TikTok because like I post on Instagram, so like I enjoy doing that. Like I find it fun, like making my feed look all nice,
Yeah.
whatever. And then Snapchat or whatever, I message my friends. But TikTok, I think it's just mindless nothingness. Like you're just scrolling for like hours and like literally, what do you get out of it?
Yeah.
But I've deleted TikTok for a really long. I think I deleted it for about 2 or 3 months. And then I went away with my friend and she had TikTok and she was telling me all these references and I didn't understand.
That's
and I
the
actually
issue
felt
with
so
it.
left
That's the
out.
issue with it.
Literally,
I was
all
like,
of
what
it
is
is
this?
really-
Deleting like
Twitter.
TikTok references are like literally part of today's
You'd
like,
feel out of loop.
conversation.
Yeah.
You'd so feel out of loop.
It's like
It's literally
It's
part
not
of
all
our
just it's
culture.
not all just like stupid memes. So you actually can get educational stuff from it. And you can actually
Exactly.
keep up to
Yeah.
date with news and stuff on it.
That's another
Yeah.
point. Is
Yeah.
social media educating us?
That is like one of the like probably.
Yes,
most
and it makes me
positive things.
depressed.
yeah, I mean,
It's
More
so
aware of the
sad.
different things that's happening. Like that's probably
Yeah,
one
but
of the
Exactly.
I literally don't go on Instagram because I know it's like you're raising awareness and you're putting on the story these terrible things that happen across the world.
Yeah.
But it's the worst thing to wake up to and realizing
Yeah.
how bad this world is.
No, totally.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it
we
can
know
be
it anyway
so
with the news.
overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like if you're, because we are learning so much from like different countries, like
and so
different.
quickly as
Yeah,
well.
it is a lot to take on. I think we should know about it. We should understand it and try and, you know,
Change
do what
it.
we can. But it is a lot of pressure. I mean, we're all like 16, 17. We can't. We can try and change like the world and social. So what's the word I'm looking for? Social.
Change. Social
Yes,
change.
we can look for social
Social
change,
equality.
but it is
Yeah.
a difficult thing, and it is definitely overwhelming for young people.
But then
It's
this
a lot
is
of
why,
pressure
like,
as
by sharing this awareness on social media, surely this is like the one thing we can do about it because that's literally everything in our day-to-day life. It's literally the most normal thing is like sharing, constantly sharing stuff, like raising
Yeah, but there's
awareness.
one. There's one thing sharing about it. Like when, like back early 2020 when there were all those Australian wildfires. Every Instagram story there was a post
Yeah,
about
there's
it.
like a line between raising awareness and people just posting it.
And
instead of
there's
posting it.
That's another
there's
thing.
that. But there's also, you know, you're posting about it, you're letting everyone know, but no one's doing anything about
Yeah.
it. Like, we all
Yeah.
know about it.
Exactly, but what are you doing to
But no one's
help
actually
it?
changing it. You're just
I
making
still think
yourself
it's good
almost
though, that
sadder because of it.
Social media unites us as much as it divides us. I think pretty sure.
100%.
Definitely.
we
100%.
we all feel like we're learning. Like I don't think without social media I'd be as pushing or as confident or wanting to do literally anything for social change than without social media. Like, if I didn't have it, I
Yeah,
don't think I'd
exactly.
be
Because you
like,
just
as
wouldn't
confident
hear
to
about it.
be
You
able to
wouldn't
push
hear
it.
about it.
Yeah.
So it
Exactly.
I
wouldn't
also-
be a biggest part of your life.
The issue is again, it's like social media gives you a voice, but then it gives other people
Yeah,
who
it gives bad people
Who
Who
don't
voices
don't
as
deserve
well.
it.
deserve it. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
a bit of a coin flip on that.
What
Yeah.
are you thinking with
But
that?
yeah.
But no, I think it's like it's useful, but it's also useless. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's useful for educating, it's useful for like talking to people, but at the same time, it's like a lot of it is going to be meaningless. Like there's so much rubbish that's on there as well at the same time. So I definitely think it's very
A lot of fake news.
yeah, it's very divided in terms of is it something that's really needed in today, or is it something that people have just kind of, I don't know what the word is, but kind of just got on with as such.
Yeah.
Final question. How about we include the audience in on this as well? Because we have an audience this time. So let's get a little bit of an audience interaction. Raise your hand if you think. Raise your hand if you think that we should put a ban on children under the age of 12 interacting with social media.
Well, they are. Like, you're not allowed to have an Instagram account, but
Yeah,
they
but
have it anyway.
like,
That
what
doesn't
stops
mean
it?
They have Roblox. They can just argue on Roblox.
No, we
Just got a thing with Roblox.
arguing.
But overall, I think most people in the room put their hand up, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
at that I didn't get social media really until I was like 13 anyway. So, but I think when you're of that age, you're just starting secondary school, so you're a child really.
Yeah.
I mean, arguably.
So when would you say is the right time to
we
get
still
social media then?
But I think when you start to learn more about social responsibility and stuff like that, because if you think
Definitely.
when you're like younger than that age, your parents have a massive influence on your opinions
Yeah.
on everything.
Yeah.
And sometimes they can be a little bit uneducated for like the contemporary society or whatever. So then they'll be bringing those ideas on social media, upsetting people, triggering people, and
Yeah,
that's
that's a
not
lot of-
fair.
Yeah.
And then they're going to get completely slated for it, and they
Exactly.
maybe don't mean to like upset anyone.
And that's just what they've
but
been
that's
taught.
just what they've been taught. So I think you should be able to form your own opinions on things
Definitely.
before you put them out into the world.
Definitely.
I think, so you're saying year 7 is when...
I'm saying once you kind of
It's more up to like kind of the individual as opposed to a
yeah,
stage.
I think it's how much you've matured as a person as
Okay,
opposed.
that's good.
I mean, I appreciate you
think-
can't put like on
I mean, this
something.
is
Yeah.
You can
from,
only
like-
do it if you've matured this much. But
Yeah.
like, I think
Yeah.
that's the basic.
I mean,
idea
I've
of
had
it.
social media like I first downloaded Instagram when I was in year 4.
yeah,
I've had
I had
Snapchat
it way
since,
So
like-
I had a
Really?
flip phone
Yeah.
in year 6.
I
was like
like,
snaking
I
my
have one of
flip
those
phone.
Huawei ones.
So for somebody that's had that, I don't like. At the time, I think social media was very different as well. Like
Yeah.
no one would use it for like these. more
So
serious
questionable,
stuff.
don't-
Yeah, this is the thing. So you're saying it's like kind of that kind of age between like year 6 and 7 is the most kind of likable time to have it.
Yeah.
Start like having it. But
Yeah,
then
because everyone's getting it, so you want to fit in
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
I think.
exactly. But then from somebody that's had it since such a young age, like I wouldn't say it's like been a very negative thing until obviously like kind of as I got older I could see the negatives of it. Because at the time it was such an innocent thing. But
I think
Also-
I think it depends on you really.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I think it
depends
depends
on
how you use it. Like
yeah, what you
and-
intend on doing with it.
Yeah.
the person. Yeah.
Also, the internet is such a scary place.
Yeah.
Like, so scary. Like, everything we've talked about just now, like, there's...
You don't want to show that to
Exactly.
like, kids, do you?
I wouldn't want my, like, 11-year-old brother... Obviously, my brother's too smart for his age, but I wouldn't want him exposed to half the stuff on the internet
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's just...
And it's
There's
also,
too
yeah,
much.
you can do radicalisation and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So, like, at a young age, it's bad.
And I think even like, because my sister's 10 and she's like, you know, exposed to it or whatever and everything. And it's kind of partially my fault because obviously I've had it. So she's been like, oh, Chloe
Yeah.
has this, you know, my turn. And I think some of the things on there at her age, she won't realise that it's bad or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, like with TikTok, like certain sounds have like
Yeah.
really like slurs in them and swear words in them, and it's like you can't have young people who don't know what they
Yeah,
mean
they're not gonna
exposed to those
understand.
because then they'll use
They'll
them
go
and
around
then they'll get in
saying
trouble
those.
for it,
Exactly.
and it's not their
Exactly.
But
not
then
their
what
fault.
if like these like because obviously they're gonna want to have it like
Yeah.
like you said your sister's seeing you've got it
Exactly.
So what if it's something that could be like monitored more like you know
That's
somebody
the-
there,
that's
like,
the issue with it,
watching
like,
it.
Yeah.
Like I know you've got like YouTube for kids you've got like
Yeah, I
the
was
kids
gonna
version
say
of like Messenger
You've got like
Oh,
kids
yeah,
tube
maybe that's-
and
yeah,
stuff
maybe
like
that's
that.
maybe like an
that's like
yeah.
I think
and if
that's
they want to
just,
have other
like,
stuff like TikTok
suitable.
and that, either have a like variant of it that's specifically for kids
Yeah.
or have like it being monitored for like these reasons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, have a parent that is there to manage the account
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
for
idea.
the kid.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Right.
Okay,
Good
so
start.
moving on to the next topic. Smoking and vaping.
Oh.
That I'm just going to say it.
He's
And I know that Elliott's going to go off on one, so I'm just going to leave you
start.
to
We'll
it.
let Elliot start. Go on.
What do you want to start with? What do you want to?
Are you for or against the culture of smoking and vaping?
on the furthest spectrum away from smoking and vaping.
But
I
why?
think it's awful. I think that it's been turned into some sort of like cool thing to do. I think that it's turned into something like a necessity, like you have to do it. I feel like our culture has made it so, like in my workplace, if I want to go and have a breather outside, a 5-minute break, they'd frown and be like, what the hell is this? If I went, oh, can I have a fag? They'd be like, sure mate, I'll get you one in 10 minutes.
I see your point, yeah. And I think as well, you see a lot of people that are just walking down, like literally everybody you pass has got either a vape or a cigarette, 9 times out of 10.
Yes.
So I do see your point.
Yes.
I definitely think over the last year as well, they've definitely become more like, especially vapes.
Yeah.
way
Yeah,
more
especially
vapes.
like geek bars and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
since like all the festivals last year,
Yeah.
was definitely when it all became more
Yeah.
of like everyone's got one.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll go around each person.
No.
No, I was going to go in this
No,
way,
you go first.
but go on, Alison.
I'm pretty against it. I don't think I'm not as caring as you.
Yeah.
But I think I'm pretty against it and the whole idea of it. But
Why?
I just think it's not healthy. Like, why would you promote, or not promote, but why would you have something that's not healthy? Like, why would you use it?
Yeah.
And that's my opinion.
Yeah? Right. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Me?
Yeah? Chloe? Shoot it?
No, I was
You go
thinking we
first.
were going.
Oh, I was going around this way, but...
Okay, I was thinking Elliot's.
Okay, right. I think don't start it just because someone's influenced you to. Don't start it just because it's an aesthetic, because you've seen other people doing it. If you're don't start it at all, preferably. But like, if you're going to do it so that it benefits you in a way.
For your own reasons,
If,
like your
if
own like.
you have like really bad anxiety and that's your way of relieving it, that's what works best for you. And I don't think people should judge you for that. But I also think it's equally not good for your physical health. So abstain from it as long as you can.
Yeah, don't like
Yeah.
use it consistently. Like,
Yeah.
be aware of.
Yeah, be aware of the
100%.
consequences of it, but don't be scared of it. Just don't.
I think as well,
Do it
linking
for the
back
sake
to, like,
of it.
linking back to social media, I think as well, a lot of people see like their friends have posted something on like their story, and they see that and they're like, oh yeah, like I'll
Like
try
that
that,
smoke
and then
Yeah.
collect it,
cafe
like
vibe.
yeah.
Yeah.
No.
What, your opinion?
I don't particularly have a straight, like, dead opinion on it. Like, I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm quite open-minded. So if someone was to say, oh, I'm a smoker, I'd be like, okay, that's whatever. If someone was like, I'm not a smoker, okay, that's fine. Like, I'm open to what other people think about it. But I'm kind of pro people doing what they want to do as long as it's
Yeah.
not hurting anyone else.
Yeah.
And it's not affecting other people. And if it's something you genuinely enjoy doing, and it like
Do it
you
with
get a
moderation.
benefit,
Yeah.
if you get a benefit out of it, then like just go for it. 'Cause-
Okay, yeah, I agree with you in that sense.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to shove it down people's throats or steal vapes
totally.
and throw them in the bin right in front of them. Yeah, I'm not like that crazy. I just think, like, if I could convince someone to not, I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
no,
that's
totally.
what I stand for.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I'm not, I mean, it's their choice and I can't control people's lives. Like,
No,
like you said.
I get
But,
you.
like, still, I'm very against it.
I agree.
I think it's also because it just looks like. I have a weird thing where smoking kind of looks attractive. It can be attractive.
I know what you
Vaping,
mean.
however, is the biggest
Here's the
you
thing.
can do.
Here's the thing. They invented vaping to stop you from smoking. So why are people vaping before they start smoking?
Yeah.
Apparently
This is the
vaping's
thing.
worse than smoking.
And vaping's
Those
worse,
deep
yeah, it
bars
is,
are like
it is.
50
They're
cigarettes.
worth
Yeah.
they're worth like 10 packs of cigarette, or I don't know, whatever. They're worth like a couple of packs of cigarettes. And then it's like, oh, it's not as bad because it doesn't have the tar. Yes, it doesn't have the tar, but it's still the same
still bad.
ingredients.
No, just to me too. It just looks so. You look so stupid. dude.
Looks like you're sucking a
You
highlighter.
so,
like,
sorry to anyone who does.
no judgment, no judgment. It's your personal
Yeah,
choice.
we're all,
But,
like, really
exactly,
supportive
like,
here.
you can do what you want, but like, don't.
do what you want.
I'm just saying you look like an idiot doing it.
I'm not going to tell you not to do it. It's your personal choice, and whatever makes you happy, go for it. Be my guest, because it's not
You're
hurting
going to
you.
be a like they're saying, I'm not going to judge, but I'm judging.
I'm not judging. I'm not judging. I wouldn't do it though.
No.
I've got a little personal story here. I was like talking to someone, and like we were snapping back and forth, And then she goes and she's like, oh my god, I'm running low on my babes. And she gets all 3 of them and puts them in her mouth and then smokes all of them. And then I was like, I'm not going to talk to you anymore.
No,
I'm the biggest no.
What if
no.
you just like called out one then did it? Would that still be complete? No, I'm not talking to you.
It's more like,
but
I
it's more
haven't
like
left the door. The
she
door's
feels
there.
like
I haven't
she
left
needs
yet.
to.
But as soon as she did that, I'm out the door. I'm out the door. I'm gone.
No, you know what I don't get? People who like just snap you and then they'll just be like doing their vape. And it's like, what, do you want a medal or something?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Random snaps of a cloud.
Yeah, and it's like,
trashy music with them like vaping.
yeah, it's like
Oh my
the
God.
drill blaring in the back and they're like,
Oh no, it is the biggest ick.
You're
I'm
that.
like, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna air you now.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
See you later.
it's just like, what do you want me to say about it? Like, oh, cool. Like,
Oh my God,
buy
that's
me
so
one.
cool.
What do you want me to say? Like,
But then that's what a lot of people do. They put up my stories and they're like, oh, hit me
Who
up
wants
for
to
like
buy
this,
my
this, and
vape?
this. Like, I disagree with
It's
that.
the
I feel
right men on
that's
their
definitely
stories.
encouraging
Ew.
someone.
What was your whole thing? We missed out. What's your kind of take on the whole thing?
I mean, like, I don't really care about it. Like, if you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, don't. Like, I'm with that point of it. I'm definitely agreeing with what you guys are saying about putting on like social media and stuff. That's like kind of.
it's just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a little bit. Like, you're
Yeah.
not getting anything out of it. No one's surely going to message you being like, oh, you're hard. Girl.
Wow.
Why are you
I
saying
don't
that,
think
mate?
against it
Like,
at all.
Yeah,
But
Oh my God,
So-
be my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To conclude, basically, we're saying that it's just not.
I don't
Do
think
it
it
if
should
you
be a
want to.
trend.
Do it if you
Don't
want
do it.
to, but
I think,
we don't.
I think
think
the main reason that I'm not completely against it, because obviously like, it's bad for your health. It doesn't really look that cool when you're sending videos of yourself to people where you look like you're like
No.
puffing a highlighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Don't do
if
it.
it's but if it's helping you, because I know like a few people who have like had past experiences and it's helped them get out of like bad situations where
Yeah.
they could have gone down some kind of like holes or pits or whatever. So I think in that sense it's really helped people. But like there's other ways to you
Yeah.
can help yourself in
Yeah.
that sense.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's it.
well, so to conclude that, then everyone's on a negative path with that, then, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Yeah, we got there in the
like
end,
a
yeah.
negative.
Like you can but abstain from it.
Yeah.
Fair enough, fair enough. Okay, so moving on to the next topic, we want to talk about climate change. So let's start with like, what's your opinions on like kind of the current situation we've got with climate change?
I think we're screwed. I think we're gonna die.
No, don't.
No, we are done for.
The world's
We
ending.
are done for. I don't know what to say, to be honest. Like, it's just a bit sucky. What do you?
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with my at Christmas, a little Christmas debate, and we were talking about it. And then they were like, we were just, like talking about how we got to deal with it and how we're going to do it. We're going to electric cars, and then I had a big argument because they were like, oh, just stop. We just need to stop using like private jets and airplanes. I'm just like, well, do you realise that the biggest amount of you can fact check this, but it's like animals and livestock takes up like I don't know the percentage.
Oh
I think
yeah,
it's
because
like
like
60,
cows
70%.
just produce like methane or
Methane.
anything.
Yeah.
Like it's like no one's business. It's like just
That's the biggest. That's the
Yeah.
biggest deal with climate change, but it's never brought up. Is that is the fact that livestock
Yeah.
is the main reason. Like, sure, okay, stopping like private jets, super yachts, all this like rich people stuff. That would help. That would help.
well.
And it does suck too that it's put on us too.
Yeah.
Like, rich people aren't really like they're being taxed because of their money, but we're also neglecting the fact that they're also doing a lot for
So you're
ruining
definitely
climate
like, you're
change.
kind of saying at this point that climate change is like kind of it's cause and effect between like the rich people causing climate change. Or
Well,
are you saying-
I think we get blamed. too
I
much for it.
think it's without pointing fingers. I think it's kind of like the older generations kind of thing. Because a lot of people like I like talking to like older family members and people that I know about it. They're like, well, it's fine because you'll die before it affects you anyway.
Yeah.
It's
Why-
like,
why would- yeah, why would they care?
you probably will. I might, but my kids and your grandchildren won't.
Yeah.
But then, could you say this in like a different way? The older generation, like I know climate change is an ongoing thing, but it wasn't this much of a problem, like when they were our age.
It wasn't, but it is now. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
you-
why would they care?
solely
You've got
blame
you've
it
got
on
to
them, though,
notice
because-
you've got to notice the change at some point because it's like when we first went into lockdown after COVID, like the whole world was shut down, like factories were stopping, and people in I want to say like Oriental Southern Asia, like India, Nepal kind of countries, was saying, so obviously that's where like kind of the main kind of smog and that's produced, because like factories and that in those cultures and that, they could see, because obviously all the factories are closed down, they could see like the Himalayas from there, and there's some like really incredible pictures of it. Like people who live like a couple of hundred like miles away from the Himalayas could see them out the window, and they never knew they'd be able to see them. But because all the smog has cleared, because like all the factories have shut, they could see things. And it's just mad to think how much effect it has on when
It
you
definitely
like
proves the point
when you
of-
never would have even thought that you could, that it had that big of an effect, and you just thought that was life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Sure.
Sorry, for the people at home, our
just
friendly
walked in
lovely
like
man
this.
Nick just jumped out of the corner now with 2 bags of KFC. Should we wrap up this topic? Let's wrap up this topic.
yeah.
Let's finish our final
I
thoughts.
have one thing.
Yes.
I watched a documentary called Cowspiracy, and it really opened my eyes. Like, it was a lot about how, like you said, livestock takes up a lot of, like, makes
CO2. And
yeah, exactly.
greenhouse gases.
But I was watching it, and it was saying just how much water goes into like a single cheeseburger, like because you have to. There's something about washing. Like the cows have to drink.
The cows
And
have to
it's-
drink. You have to water the grass that the
You have to
cows
water the
eat.
grass.
You have to water the cows. Like
And there's,
Make sure they
there's
grow
other
with
things.
water.
There's
Like a lot of, like,
I sounded really
external
stupid
factors.
when I said that. You have to feed the cows.
No, it's
But
good.
no, there's like so much water that goes into the production of making cheeseburgers, or just not just cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
Into, like,
only
Generally
cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
yeah, and it takes up a lot of water. So cows are the issue, basically. No
Yeah.
joking.
No, it's
And it
true.
was
just
just
get rid of
about-
the cows
yeah.
and we'll be fine.
And it was talking about like converting to like veganism and stuff like that. I think it's not too much to do with climate change, but still
Yeah.
makes sense.
Related.
Veganism is being pushed a lot more, I
Yeah.
feel like, because of climate change and other things,
Yeah.
like morality things.
Yeah, loads of food places now
like
doing
some
plant-based stuff. KFC,
Yeah.
McDonald's,
Yeah.
Burger King.
Burger King, that will
Yeah,
be
it's definitely
plant-based stuff.
becoming like more of like a thing. Like,
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
100%.
But the fact is, they're still selling meat.
Yeah,
They're still doing
they won't ever stop selling meat. Because
make money
it's-
from it.
Exactly,
Yeah.
you can make
Well,
a
they're
lot of
slowly
money
trying
from
to get
meat.
away from it, but people aren't going to get used to it. Why would they change out then? Why would
No.
you change from meat? If you like having meat, then why would you want to change from it? When you'll probably survive being on the planet and you won't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, you're dead. So basically, we're screwed.
Basically,
Basically.
because humans
In
enjoy
conclusion.
luxuries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got one more question based on like climate change stuff.
Sure.
What are your guys' opinions on like the movies like Extinction Rebellion, Into Britain, and stuff like that?
Extinction Rebellion is no.
No?
No.
They're just a bit
I
too
think-
crazy.
I think they just get, they get a real bad rap from the press.
Definitely.
And generally just all on social media. Because you just see like people having, they really like
But
hate
then
them.
at the end of the day, they're also like kind of doing something about it. Like we're all just posting stuff on social media. You
That
guys
is
said
true.
earlier how
I mean,
That is true,
I'm-
but the way
I'm
that they're
all
going about
for
it
it.
isn't the correct
well,
way.
That's what I was saying. It's like in State Britain, went
They
about it in
have
like such a
been
bad
extreme.
way. However,
Definitely.
like the Extinction Rebellion, like the protests and stuff, for the most part, are completely harmless.
I think if it's a peaceful
some extent.
protest, go for it.
Well,
Exactly.
I disagree there because they're not harmless. Because I'm pretty sure, someone can fact check it, but I'm pretty sure I saw on the news that there was someone that was trying to get to the hospital
And they got stopped.
and they got stopped
but
because
that-
of
yeah,
it.
But that was
causing
like,
them-
but I'm saying like the protests happening in London, like not like where people were like
Okay.
on the roads and stuff. I mean like the ones that are just in and around London, which are
Yeah.
completely like unaffecting for the
Yeah.
most part.
Yeah.
important
The thing is
stuff.
what they're doing.
But I do like disagree with like in
Yeah.
State Britain when they were like
Yeah, like when they went
Yeah.
onto the M25 and
But then
that, and
that's
it's
the
like,
argument.
you're
Yeah.
going to put yourself in danger and the people in the cars.
They were
just-
trying to stop like the emission from cars and stuff. Yeah, they're making cars go the long way around and sit
Yeah.
in traffic.
Exactly.
I'd still argue
and
that the
engines
people in London,
running.
what
Yeah,
they do.
You know?
they have to stop.
What are they doing in London?
Like what do you mean? Like just the people? Or
Yeah, like you said about people. Oh, okay, Extinction Rebellion's bad, and then you've got the people in London protesting. But what are the people?
Well, that's
in
no,
London
it's
protesting?
Extinction Rebellion. Like I'm saying, like the group, like in London, obviously Extinction Rebellion, they're doing these protests, trying to raise. Okay, I see your point. They're trying to raise awareness.
Yeah. Like, is a two-edged sword
Yeah.
here?
But,
Because
yeah, I do
on one
see your point,
side,
I do see your
going
point.
too far, you're going to cause bad press.
Mayhem.
This
Everyone's
is
going
why
to hate
people
you,
put a
and your
bad
point's
name
going
on
to be
activists.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
point's going to be worthless. But then if you're too soft and you just do protests, then I mean, sure, you'll get some press. You'll be on people's good sides, but still nothing's going to change.
I think also especially with the Extinction Rebellion group specifically, I think a lot of people are against it and don't like them just because they've kind of been told to, just because social media says that, the press is always like...
Without context, you just see people without context, you just see like 5 people in a row standing in the middle of the row,
and it's
people
like, what are you
shouting,
doing?
like begging them to get out of the way.
Influenced by other people's opinions. I feel like people need to actually do a bit more background history.
Just
on,
do
like,
some research.
their groups.
But why should they? Why
They
should
don't have to listen to everything it says.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a
Going back on the
whole.
circle at the very start
It's
there.
such a difficult. This is why it's so difficult to fix though. The whole situation with climate change is because it's so.
Involved.
So it's like a cobweb of just so many issues, and
It's
if you
so
do
far
if you
gone,
do
it
too
feels
much,
like.
then people are going to hate you, and if you do too
yeah.
little, then no one's going to change. But if you do too much, then you're going to affect the people at the top, but then you're also affecting the people at the bottom.
Take Greta Thunberg, for example. So many people hate her because she spoke up about it, but you know, she's the only one who's gotten really massive press for it. Anyone else who just does little pieces of
She's
protest.
actually doing something.
She doesn't deserve
She's
any
actually
hate.
doing-
Like
No, she doesn't. She hasn't
stood
done
there-
anything wrong.
Exactly.
No,
At
what
14 years old, I would not have
Done that.
the strength to do that.
No.
She stood there in front of a bunch of politicians and they've just laughed in her face.
Yeah,
And she's
and that's
come
just
there
horrible.
all that way to help like spread awareness and tell people they need to
That's why I'm going
change.
to come in again and say, what is she doing though? I
Yeah,
get
but
that
she has
she's
changed stuff. Like they've changed the rules now.
Yeah.
What
So
she
she is doing.
Like she
Yeah.
herself couldn't have done anything being a 14-year-old. There's nothing major she could have done apart from use her voice to get other people
Yeah.
to help her do these things.
Has she actually made change?
Yeah, there's been like laws change.
Well,
Because of
everyone
her.
knows about her
Well,
now,
because
so it's
her
raised
and then
awareness. If you know that is the minimum, raising awareness. Like so many companies now do like eco-friendly products, or whatever, biodegradable stuff. So
She's
clearly,
definitely someone that's
I
made,
think she
like-
really got the ball rolling with our
Yeah.
generation. I
I
think.
love her.
Yeah.
She's adorable as well. Have you seen the videos of her doing karaoke?
Yeah,
She's so cute.
I think I need to educate myself more because I literally just know her as only just doing speeches, and I don't actually know if she's actually made an impact.
No,
'Cause-
I think she's done a lot for her age.
She's doing her best.
For her age,
She's so young.
She's done more than she's done more.
She
than
has
others.
no power. She's not like a big politician or
That's
anything.
true.
She's a
But
14-year-old
yeah,
girl.
Yeah.
From
like I
a
said, she
Scandinavian
comes
country.
in
Like, she can't-
to this room full of politicians,
men,
grown
really.
men, and she's so young, and she's just
She's just trying her
honestly, I
best.
look up to her in a
Yeah.
way because
Yeah,
I wish I
unfortunately.
had the strength to do that and speak
Yeah.
the way, like to
Speak
be able
what
to
you think.
convey my opinions in front of that many people.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
definitely.
Unfortunately, still the rich people probably won't care. But Elon Musk is going to save us because he's
SpaceX!
Elon Musk is saving us because he said, oh, remember the whole who thing where he's like, who was like, oh, if we had his money, then we could fix climate change. Then Elon Musk said, oh yeah, okay, if you can send me a whole document showcasing what you're going to do with my money, I'll give you the money for it.
I
And
think
we're
they should
talking
get
like
Jeff
billions here.
Bezos
We're talking
involved,
legit
like
billions.
everyone.
And then who sends in the document, and then he just doesn't reply.
This is
They've got to get like.
It's up to the rich
Yeah.
people, but how are we going to get to them?
Have you seen that film Don't Look Up? Sorry, I completely.
Oh, so
I love
good.
Timothy in that movie.
Oh my
God, I know.
Go watch it if you haven't watched it.
gonna say that.
I've watched it this night right now.
Basically, it's like a political
End of the world
message thing
film.
of like
Right.
we can legit see the issue, we see the meteor coming, we see like the problem, and people are still not caring about it. And it's like the same thing with like
And they
climate change.
basically-
basically
hits
found,
and everyone
and
dies.
they found a way
Yeah.
to make the meteor go, and then it turned around.
But then Leonardo DiCaprio's still gone into some doo-doo about it.
We love
because-
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Well, do we? Because he then was
no, we
preaching
don't.
about it all.
And then
on
he
it.
went on a private jet.
And then he went on his private jet and his super yacht that he's been using.
Yeah,
So.
like Meryl
Everyone's just
Streep.
cropped. I want to love him, but he's damaging the environment as much as he's helping it. So it's, it's all messed up. It's all messed up. Basically,
Everything-
Anyway, on that note,
Anyways, we're hungry.
Before we start
We're gonna go
any
get.
more new topics
You
on
can
that.
tell we're hangry.
it's showing.
Yeah. Right.
It really is.
Lovely. Yeah. Let's go. Go up here.
Cool.
Okay, so welcome back. We've now got our food, a traditional KFC. Just to pre-trigger warning, we are going to be like talking and eating at the same time, so obviously if you are uncomfortable around that, like I wouldn't advise to watch any further. But yeah, let's go on to our next topic.
Wait. Before that, guys,
Go on.
I need to ask a question. Okay. So I was having this topic, and I was wondering. Okay. So as you know, it's dark outside, right?
It
It's
is.
winter, right? What's better, winter or summer?
Summer.
Summer, obviously.
Summer?
It's not even a question.
Georgia. Don't you dare
No,
say
it's the bit between some, like not wait, no, because
Like spring. Spring.
Yeah,
The bit between.
No, the bit like there's after, like just after like autumn, not quite autumn, but like it's coming out of summer, like the bit where it's like getting darker and colder, so like it's good enough to wear like.
So
hoodies.
September.
That's not fun.
September.
Yeah, it's
Autumn.
not like quite autumn. It's not like freezing cold. It's like that
So-
nice little kind of.
So August.
Yeah, but then the nice week. There's just 1 week where it's just nice.
No, August.
Just a
Just look
single
forward to
week in
that
every
one- the
year.
entire week. Yeah, you're looking forward to that 1 week.
1 week. Where it's
Yeah.
like the nights are getting like the days are getting shorter. You can wear like hoodies, but you still can wear shorts. Like it's still like nice. You still go out to like a good time. Like
Yeah.
yeah, is that 1 week?
Why do you like why do you guys not like winter then?
It's not like I
It's
don't like
cold.
winter. I like winter because I can hibernate and just.
Exactly.
Stay in my
cold,
room,
you
yeah.
can, like wear warm clothes and like be comfy.
Exactly. My excuse for not going out is
But
it's
you
too dark.
can't-
I'm too cold.
You can't wear loads of clothes. You can wear like maybe some leggings under some jeans, but you can't just like layer up. But then equally, in summer, if it's too hot, you know, there's only so much you can take off in public. So, you know.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just want to go to brain about.
So
But basically,
the answer is spring.
But like
No, it's
autumn
summer.
fashion.
summer's very sweet.
Yeah, it's still
You'd
summer.
say summer over spring?
Yes.
I'd say spring's the best season.
Why?
The summer's just too hot.
Because it's not too hot and it's not too cold. And you can still do all the things
No,
that you do in summer
spring's when
and
it's
do all the
wet.
things
Yeah,
that you do in
spring's when
winter.
it can't- Yeah, spring's when it can't start. It's just wet. We're in Britain. It would just be muddy. Everything would be muddy
Okay,
and
well,
wet.
like maybe if I lived in like Florida or something. I don't know.
No, but we don't. We don't.
We moving?
So you
Let's
like-
go.
Or like end of May.
Packing
it's,
bags,
like,
we
coming
have like
out.
we're
It's
off.
always that last like bit.
Well, yeah, we just like the last bit. You like the changeover.
My answer is June.
That's.
Oh, I
summer.
wonder
We
why
can
you're
take that. We can take that.
Yeah, but
June.
You said spring's your favourite, but June's your favourite. Isn't June summer?
Yeah. But it's like springy summer.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's summer.
No, but it's not like 30
May
degree
is
August,
spring.
July,
May and
summer.
April, springy summer.
Okay, fine, May.
Whoa!
Do you
want
wanna fight it?
May is the best month.
May is
yeah.
not the best month.
Facts.
Are you taking the mick?
Taurus season.
August
And
is the best month.
And Gemini.
No.
No.
August is the best month.
mean-
Best month.
Leo season,
No, we don't like Leos.
July.
Leos are the best.
No.
Yeah,
They're
August
very
is good because you're just not at school.
Yeah.
true.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
But like
Then
it's
end
like
of
coming
July.
out of the hotness, but it's still hot.
So like
No,
the end of July,
middle of
like,
August
the
is like the
actual
hottest part of the year.
Yeah, that's why I love it. And you're saying spring, when it's like literally muddy.
So why are you judging me?
Because summer's the best. Really, what were you?
So you
Favourite-
asked for my
favourite season?
opinions and then you were like saying.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah. yeah, that's what I like.
What would you say your favourite is?
Choose
talking
wisely.
at
Yeah. Choose very wisely. She's thinking very hard.
I'm not pressurized now.
All eyes on me.
Come on.
Oh, good.
Don't mess this up.
It's got to be worth it now.
Don't mess this up.
She's gonna say like
Don't mess this up.
nothing.
Okay, well, January is my least favourite.
Yeah.
Don't ask,
Agreed.
don't know why. Start of the year is just
It's such
always
a nothing
rubbish.
month. It's just so
pointless.
pointless.
It's just like
Yeah.
nothing's going on.
Well, February.
It's like, yeah.
Still bad.
Valentine's.
Day.
Why are you saying
No.
that? happy?
Well, that doesn't mean
Well,
anything
some
to
of us
me,
can talk.
so.
It's alright for some.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Although,
Mark.
I get my mum gifts. March.
Happy Valentine's Day, Mom.
My mum gives me gifts. March.
Trash. Muddy. Awful. Grey.
I never remember much of March. but
Exactly.
it's
Until it
so fast.
reaches May,
Yeah.
that's when it
It's
gets
like the most
interesting.
forgettable month.
I just
What's
don't
up?
really know what happens most days, so
It's April.
No, it's
you're asking the wrong person here.
April. Easter.
Yeah.
That's when it
remember
starts
the
to get
last time I
interesting.
celebrated
Yeah.
Easter.
It's getting better, but still, it's not best.
Yeah.
Easter's kind of
I
like
can.
No.
Last year.
Easter's like, don't care about it really. Because chocolate.
Yeah.
It's chocolate.
I mean, you
Yeah.
get 2 weeks off, so that's
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good shout. May?
The best one.
Best month.
No way.
May's
Incredible.
okay
It's not
because well, the last 2 years we've had really hot like spring.
That is true. No, we haven't.
like-
Last
Yeah,
summer
we
was
did
so
it.
bad.
We did in
Summer.
lockdown 1.
Yeah, lockdown one is
Lockdown 1 was
amazing.
insane.
Lockdown 1 was so good. This year, dreadful. Absolutely dreadful.
I can't remember.
No, last year.
I've forgotten.
Thank you.
Unless you're living in the future, like.
You know, yeah, manifesting that good summer.
But
No, sorry. I've got
2020 May was definitely like boiling hot. Like, I
Yeah.
remember.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. But then we all got locked down. But
2021 July was like my best month for me.
Mine stank. I was awful.
Wasn't that when you were really ill?
Yeah, I got COVID like that time.
I was ill for 2 weeks before that.
Yeah, I was ill and then I got COVID afterwards. Oh, it's the worst time. I had such a.
How many of you have had COVID? Like,
I haven't.
You haven't?
I don't know. I don't
I
think
haven't.
I have.
I haven't. Have you had COVID?
No.
Oh my god, you had that
Wait,
like
am I the only one that's
phase
had
where you
COVID?
thought you
I
did.
think I definitely
I locked
think
myself
I've had
away
it,
for
Yeah.
a week.
but I
You don't know when.
tested positive. Like,
Yeah.
I definitely, there's only a couple of
scary.
times where I look back now and I'm like, I was really ill. Like, I probably had it.
I mean, I might have had it, but I've never tested positive, so you know.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. Right. Anyway, sorry.
Debate.
Go back to
Oh
debate.
yeah, debate. Sorry.
Yeah,
I forgot we
sorry.
were doing it, to be honest.
Okay,
I'm miles
so
away.
the next topic is all about like robots and like where we see them in the future. Will they take over? So let's start with like, what do you guys think? Do you think it's going to be the normal thing for the future?
People losing jobs is kind of sad, but robots are kind of cool.
Yeah.
Robots are kind of cool. But they are kind of terrifying. Have you seen that? Did you see that TikTok of like, it was like the one with the actual proper face and has a camera on it, and they like noticed someone was wearing bunnies.
Yes.
That terrified me.
Yeah.
It literally looked at someone and it was like, oh, you have 3 bunnies.
Technology can do how much power it
Yeah.
has.
Didn't
I'm completely scared. I don't know why we need robots.
Because-
I mean, in some cases they probably help like a lot, but in other cases, like, well, you're kind of putting a lot of people out of jobs.
yeah, but then
And like, yeah,
but then-
they're more reliable and they're cheaper
Yeah.
than paying for workers and paying
You
for their
say
sick
robots are
leave.
more reliable than people doing their jobs?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
they are.
if you get a robot, you manufacture it to do what you want it to do. If a
Like
human
what Amazon's
accidentally
doing right
mucks
now.
something up, you
Well,
know,
it
they
depends
have
what
to redo
job.
it.
It depends what job.
No, but I mean, if it's like manufacturing something in a factory, you've got robot
Okay, yeah.
arms making like, I don't know, an oven.
Robot
But if you've got like human making it, no, but it's true. It's true because they're just massive arms. They don't have like faces or anything.
No,
They're
that's
just
true.
like massive claws.
And then it also brings in jobs, but they're not fun jobs. Then still, they're probably better jobs because
Like maintenance.
yeah, you just like if a
yeah.
robot breaks down and you just
But
fix
you,
it.
probably get
but
more
you
money
still
for it.
no, but you still lose more jobs than you gain, definitely.
Yeah, but for the
Yeah.
people who do gain it, it's a lot easier. And then those people who don't get jobs, they just have to get with the new.
But you can't just say that to people. Sorry, you just have to get a new job because you know there's a robot
Like,
taking
what do you
over.
do though? What can you
she's
do?
kind of cute.
'Cause
So
it's
you
not really in
know.
their control. Like the rich people at top, like Jeff Bezos for Amazon, is talking about, like, guys, I'm really sorry. No, I
Yeah.
will consider you guys. I will put you in jobs. Of course, he doesn't care. He's just going to put in. His
No, I
robots
know he
'cause-
doesn't, but that's the
They're rich,
problem.
they
People
have
need to
money,
start
they don't care about
caring.
people that don't have money because.
But
all
why
they
would they
think
care?
do.
Why would they care?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I feel like if I had a lot of money, I think I would still be like very.
You don't know what you'd be like.
Yeah.
I don't mean that in a rude way. I don't know
No,
what
yeah,
I'd be like.
100%. I don't know what I'd be like, but I feel like if I had all of this money, I think I would still consider like people that are struggling financially or like would need these jobs,
Yeah.
for example, like.
But you don't know about each person individually.
Yeah.
You just think, oh look, I've got all these, you know, people working
You think
here.
the most efficient thing for you.
You know,
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
just
and you'd
all
also
sack
think-
'em 'cause
but
it
then you'd
works
also
for me
think,
better, like-
think of it like this is also, if you're like someone like Jeff Bezos, you're like, okay, so my issue is there's that if I get rid of all the people that work here and turn in and put in robots, they all have no jobs now. Bad. But now I have a lot more money, which then I can buy protecting the Amazon. I have a lot more money now to stop climate change. But now these people have jobs.
and how much has he done to do climate change?
He showed up to the did you see he showed up to the goddamn climate change event? With all the
Wow,
like
showed up.
leaders.
Yeah.
With no,
Wow.
yeah, with all the leaders of the world, for some strange reason, he was invited to come on.
Oh,
I mean,
is that
go
COP24?
Hmm?
COP24?
It might have been.
The
It was
thing
one
is,
in, it was in one in like Scotland.
he's, I don't know, but he's arguably one of the most, slightly off topic of robots now, but Jeff Bezos,
Jeffrey Bezos.
possibly,
Sorry.
come on, Jeff, you can do it.
I think such earlier
No.
was saying how TikTok phrases become
But-
literally the normal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally.
true.
Point.
No, but the thing is, he's arguably one of the most powerful people in the world. Without being like a political head,
Yeah.
he is definitely powerful. If he shut down Amazon, who knows?
But the
what
thing
he
is,
would
no
do.
one put him in charge.
Yeah.
No one
He
has
just happened-
voted
Just
him
due
in
his
to
money,
represent their
like,
country.
It's
Yeah.
just because he has a lot of money.
He
That's
just has
why
money.
he has power.
He just had a good idea with Amazon, and
Yeah, and now he can pretty
everyone
much
needs
control
it.
the world. He
And
can decide if he
that's
wants to
what-
save the Amazon.
That's almost kind of a problem. Big conglomerate companies like Amazon, and like there was, I want to say it was like Misguided or something, who bought like Topshop and that. So many high street shops are now. Oh yeah, ASOS. They've these conglomerate companies have bought so many different like high street shops that everything's just becoming online, and then that's promoting robot culture even more because everything's in a factory and there's
It's like a long chain of things though, like it's literally like, you know, people are out of jobs, but then he's also going to be like, well, you say he could be helping the climate by putting people out of money. It's like, there's always negative to the positive, no matter what the situation is.
Okay, so you guys are against robots then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Against.
Got a thing against you. Sweatshops. Robots will then take over then. So then all the kids don't have to pay.
Yeah, but they should just pay them more.
Yeah, but children shouldn't be working in sweatshops in the first place.
No. But like adults,
Yeah.
like if they've gone for that job, then they should be paid more because that's just a normal thing to do.
Yeah, but then why wouldn't you just use robots instead of adults now? And now these low countries are now having robots.
Wait,
I
are you
guess-
talking
Because
about
people
like
need money.
I'm talking about sweatshops where kids
where the
work for
kids
barely any
are
money.
exploited basically?
Yeah.
Great clothes.
See, here's the thing. They're not putting robots in those places. They're putting in
True.
robots where you arguably don't need them.
But one was but one was what they do at one point. If we match
Well,
these
if they
robots
do,
and everyone's
then
like, hey, robots are pretty cool, we put them in sweatshops now. Well, not there wouldn't be sweatshops anymore. They'd be actual
But
nice
if they
clothing
start,
facilities.
well, if they start doing that, then arguably there is a positive. But at the moment, there is.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that point though.
But we haven't yet. So.
But we will though if we
Well,
add more robots.
then my point. Then my point of view will change. But at the moment, it is what it is, and it's not that
No, but
yet.
we need to get to that point, so we need people supporting the idea so that we have
Well,
changed. Because if you're going to say no
I'm not
to it,
one
then
of
it's going to
those
stay the
people.
same. Because then otherwise, then people will still be in sweatshops.
But obviously people support it. No one wants kids to get exploited for tuppences and hands.
So you said you are now supporting robots.
No, I'm supporting children not being enslaved to these conglomerate companies.
you're saying
Yes, but we have a
Yes,
solution. We have a solution to it.
Yes,
so why are we
but
not
at
supporting that
the
solution?
moment, that's not happening.
It will happen. We can make it happen. We can make it happen. Listen.
I know it will, but at the moment it's not. I'm talking
If you
about
know it's good, then why are you so against it?
Yeah.
because it's put loads of people out of jobs, and it's kind of promoting this culture and idea
So
that we don't need to do everything and we can just rely on technology.
if it's used in the right way.
Yeah.
I think we all know.
But I
yeah,
think that's the same with everything.
Yeah.
I feel like we all know that's a major issue, though. We all know that if robots slowly take over everything, everyone's going to lose jobs.
Yeah.
So I'm guaranteeing you that the government and everyone will be like, okay, we need to get a solution to this, and they'll figure out a solution where people will find jobs.
But you can't guarantee that because
That is true.
they're making money.
That is true.
And that's their priority. That's everyone's priority, really, at the end of the day.
True. But
So
then you've just got
what
a ton
effect
of.
do you think this is going to have on the economy, like having robots being...
I mean, it's going to be great. The richer are going to get richer.
Yeah, the richer are
poor
gonna
going to
get
get
rich.
poorer. So, I mean...
No, but then you've got a ton of people who literally have no jobs, so literally they can have the time to protest, they have the time to do whatever they want with their lives.
They
and
have
they
the
have no
time
money.
to do that,
So then-
but they're also...
And they can go and
they-
strike, or actually, then they don't have a job.
You can't go on strike if you don't have
But
a job.
they won't be punished. They won't lose their jobs for like protesting. They won't.
They
like-
won't lose their jobs, but they don't have a job in the first place, so they're not getting any
No, but
money.
that's what I mean. Like, if like you're like being like underpaid, and then you like strike against it, you
Yeah.
can get fired for that
Yeah.
because you're not working. If robots take over, you don't have that consequence now.
But you
can
don't
just
have a
protest.
job.
What?
If you lose your job because there's robots, you don't have a job. So you can't be like, oh, this.
Yeah, but then you protest
this not
against
means
it.
I
You're
have
like, I
loads
want
of
a
time
job.
to
Where's
go
my
to
job? Where's my
protest.
job, guys? Give me my job.
Yeah.
But
And we're
just
talking about
because you
robots
don't
are
have a
gonna take
job
over-
doesn't mean that you can just spend your life going to protests and recycling or
So if
whatever.
you're not going to get a job, like, either way, you may as well protest for, like, your right to have a job.
Yeah. Or
I
Yeah,
mean,
they're not going to be like,
And we're
oh,
talking
never
about-
mind.
we're talking robots, as in, I'm going to take over the entire world. They're not going to take over like art, are they? They're going to take over the low-end things that no one wants to do. Garbage,
Yeah.
delivery
Yeah,
services,
yeah.
all that
So-
stuff. So we have all these people now who literally
Don't have
have less
jobs.
qualifications, probably on the lower end of wages, who are now free to then either get qualified, maybe get a better job in the future.
But then it wouldn't work like that, I don't feel. Like,
That's
I feel
it's
like
not
it, like,
happening.
Okay, let's think of a solution then. Let's think of a solution. Right, we've got loads of people who are going to be jobless because of this.
Mm-hmm.
What are we going to do? You're in the government right now.
well. See, if I was in the government, I'd be like, just give the people their jobs. The thing is, the thing, no,
I
right,
would be crying
okay,
in a
right,
corner,
okay.
like, I don't
So
know.
if I'm not prime minister, the prime minister has decided, you know, what, we're installing all these robots to do the jobs that no one else wants to do. My point of view is that these people need these jobs. Say, maybe they didn't do so well in school. They have no qualifications. Fine, maybe they now have time to go get qualifications. Once you're over a certain age, you have to pay to go to school and to learn.
That's true.
And so if you don't have a job, you can't pay for that. If you are doing certain jobs which don't pay so well, which you're getting robots to do, you don't have enough money kind of saved anyway to do that, and you can't keep
perspective, then they could put schemes in place to mean that these people would have funding for their education.
But you already have people on benefits and that. You can't just keep giving benefits out.
Maybe
and
they
stuff
don't
like
get
that.
qualified. Maybe they just get reshifted to instead be maintenance workers. And now they just get
Or
paid to do
even just
maintenance.
they
And so
could
then,
get, an apprenticeship
A,
job.
they don't have to do manual work. B, they're not being paid minimum wage to do manual work. And C, they'll just have more time for themselves.
They won't earn as much money as they would doing their job anyway, because the money that...
Yeah, but there's a minimum wage.
No, I know there's a minimum wage, but I'm saying so you're paying for you're arguably swapping out the payment of the human workers for the payment of the robot
I'm saying we'll
workers.
keep the wage.
But no, I know. But the thing is, there's a limit on money. So you say the robots cost half as much as the human workers cost,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
Say that's the
That's it.
fact. So say, I'm just going to use easy numbers. Say they're each earning £100 a year.
Okay.
Right? So the robots are now earning £50 a year. So
Okay.
the people who were working, who can now work as maintenance, can only earn £50 a year because that's all that there's left.
Slight issue there. Robots don't need money.
I was going to say,
No, but to keep them working and to pay for
you
electricity.
give the 100 quid to the people to make sure it keeps working.
But then they have to pay out the money for them to work anyway. Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a very, very good point. Oh, you ruined my entire plan now. Because you definitely would only need one person, so then you've got a ton. Oh, damn. Okay.
you could argue
You've got tons of people.
ruined
out
my
there.
my whole plan. My whole plan.
You need to
ruined that.
lubricate.
they're going to be getting more money because they've got these robots. They're going to
You just
make the
carried
business,
me, I just
settle.
didn't know what to
So
say.
they're going to
She
have
was
more
like,
money coming in,
was
meaning
I
they
okay?
can pay off these maintenance workers and not lose much.
Yeah, okay, so what do we do now? So now there's 100 people working in the factory, and now we only need one to run 100 robots. So what are we going to do with 99 other people? Okay, I see your point now, Pai.
This is exactly my point.
I see your point with... I still think we should have robots. I just think we just need to have a solution for people who don't have jobs.
Well, that's the thing,
Be?
but you can't have robots without a solution for that. I mean, you can, because we do, quite literally. But morally, you can't really.
Maybe we should just have robots in lower end countries so that the people who shouldn't be forced to work in sweatshops.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but how are they going to get
literally
money?
what I've been saying from the
Yeah,
they're
get-go.
gonna get
but
money?
that's still not going to help them because in the long run, people aren't going to have any money because they don't have a job.
Exactly.
It's a literal losing situation.
I
But then-
think
It's gonna
just
happen.
keep
But then
everything
their
as it
lives
is.
aren't just being forced to work in
Yeah, but they've got
sweatshops.
money.
But then
No
they're
money,
like
so they've got no
forced to
food.
live completely and utterly terrible because they haven't got money to feed
Exactly.
their family or their houses or necessities in life because they haven't got a job.
Surely, bro. This is a really good debate, man.
What are you
I
going
can
to
see
do?
your legs going.
You're just realising you've dug yourself a little hole. And you're like, ah.
No, but I feel like it's good, but
The thing is, I see where I entirely see where
I
you're
see where
coming
you're
from.
coming from too.
I'm just being the devil's advocate.
So we need to be
But
somewhere in the middle
I
of these
think,
two situations. we've
yeah,
got.
but I think morally, I don't think robots have a positive impact on society
I
with
think that they do, though.
the
They're saying
economics.
businesses
I think
money,
we
but they
all
just
do
get
it
like
fun,
so
like-
much.
Well, fun. I don't think they're
Yeah.
fun. I think they're productive and they make time for other people to do actual live life. And
But
then
they can't-
But then you can't live life if you don't have money to pay for things.
okay, but then we got to find that. Then we'd give people money to do.
Everyone
other
should
stuff.
just be hippie. Robots are out the pictures. We're all just gonna chill
Hug
in the
trees.
woods. We're gonna live off the natural
Or, like,
resources.
meet in the
Yeah,
beach.
She's so
and we're gonna just we're just going to be we're gonna be at one with the universe. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was listening. I agree.
Like,
Would machines help with the environment?
No, because they're
No, because they
greenhouse
produce.
gases.
You can have little
Kind of.
garbage
so
ones that pick up rubbish on the floor.
if there's a way to
Or
run
people
them
that
without
the robots
damaging,
hit people
like,
that drop them.
No, it's got to be. There's
you're
got to be some. Hold on. Let me. I need to Google this. I need to see if there's some sort of solution to if robots take over.
Well-
What should I do if robots take my job?
Well, they'll probably say just find another
MI5
job.
are gonna
but the
phone you
thing
in a
is-
minute.
Let's have a look at what Google says. If anyone in the audience, please also yell at me if anything about robots comes up. But I need to back up my point here. And I'm sorry we're saying robots, but this is a good, very good debate. So I need to figure this out. Okay.
Yeah, well done for this topic. Like, this has actually really got something going.
Okay, what job
It's mainly just between me and Elliot.
Let's say that I'm an engineer. Let's say I'm an engineer. Okay. I really hope this works. Just please, just work for me. Anyways, guys.
You're like preparing yourself. Like,
Yep. Okay, I'm ready.
I feel like you've really got something prepared for what he's going to say.
I don't know what
Millie,
he's
what
about
do you
to say.
think? Millie, you've been quite quiet. And Madison, what do
She
you
thinks we
think?
should hug trees in a forest.
I'm being quiet because I'm scared. You two are like going. I'm like, I'm just gonna do
Okay, well, what's
and put a
it
wide
like,
edge
what
on
is your genuine opinion?
on robots.
Me and Elliot won't
Yeah,
stay
like
here, it's
they're
fine.
affecting like the economy, they're affecting jobs, like yeah.
Well, as just a general, we already rely so much on technology. Like our phones are robots, pretty
Yeah.
much. Our laptops are blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like technology is just going to go up from what we've already got.
Yeah.
Because like, just think, like back in the Victorian era, they weren't
yes.
Googling like different things and then coming back to it.
Well.
So it's just going to go up.
I've got an idea that I just looked on Google.
So you have no idea, Google's got an idea.
Google
Yeah,
has
Google
no
has an
idea.
idea to this situation.
See,
as
we're
I
relying on
suspected.
technology.
Yeah,
Anyways,
exactly.
carry on.
Robots, pro robots, everyone. So
I forgot what side you're on, to be honest.
let's imagine a future. We're getting a bit political. Let's imagine this, right? So
Not
you're
political
saying
person.
if we all have no jobs, we have no money, we're going to get no food, we can't afford houses, okay? The issue is that is going to be an old idea, because that is capitalism, where we all work for money to buy ourselves stuff. What happens if we change our ideology, something different, where we all get equal things? Let's say that in the system, robots take over everything, we become robot engineers, or the creative industry would still exist, but mainly literally everyone would be either robot engineers, helping to make sure everything's running properly, okay? Then, just the government and all these robots create things that suffice us, and it's given out equally to everyone. So everyone gets food, everyone gets a house, everyone gets
So
everything.
communism.
So where
Yeah.
would they get
Yes.
like the money to fund this? Like where would they get all the things they need to like make that happen?
From the government. So the government would,
Yeah, but we wouldn't pay taxes, so how would the government have any money?
Yeah.
because they would then
You,
trace
it'd
them
be
out.
so like it would take so long to get everyone on the same line because
No, but if
Guys,
we're
this
saying,
is like communism
right, if we're
again.
saying theoretically,
Very
all of a
top.
sudden the world is communist. The entire world communist.
they're
Government
not
give
gonna
us all
change.
certain amount, give us food.
but then that wouldn't work because you've got people.
No, I
very
know.
top
This
and
is what
very
I'm.
bottom.
This is what I was about to say, Jordan.
No, but no, that's not what communism is. You don't have people at the top and the bottom.
Well, yeah,
You
Well,
have-
no, but you do
That's
because you
what
have
I'm
someone.
saying.
You have to have someone in control of the money. Otherwise, you have complete anarchy.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
party. That would be the
We get it.
government.
But then
Before they
you
even
have those
happen,
people
they're
in
gonna have
power.
Yeah, but they're still paid equally. They still get the same amount of food, the same amount of supplies as everyone else. They just
But it would.
voted in to vote.
But in an ideal world, that would. Well, I mean, ideal world. Who wants to live in a communist world, really? But
I can't believe I'm turning into a communist. This idea's turned me into a communist. I can't believe it.
But it's got to be corrupt in some way. If you're in charge of
communism
everything,
is like that though.
It,
because will
it's
turn
got to
into a
be corrupt.
dictatorship.
And then at some point, there's gonna be a protest because in reality, who wants to be working as a robot mechanic for the rest of their life? It must be such a dull way of.
But who wants to
And
work as
everything would
works
just
in a
be
warehouse?
like the exact same. There'd be no
Well,
like.
people get certain qualifications to do that. There's there's
Yeah,
so.
but for the lower people, they don't. Surely they'd be unhappy, and why don't they rise up and be like, no, I don't want to be a bin man today. I want to be something else. I want to be paid the equal amount of food and equal amount of money as everyone else. And I wish that robots took over and so that we all got paid equally.
Then
But that would never happen.
It's a very broad
Like
stretch.
Madonna
Yeah.
said, we are living in a material world.
material girl.
The sheer difference in the debates that we're having.
I mean.
No, I like it though. I like it. Stuff
I mean,
I feel like I'm done.
we're not trying to
'Cause
get
that was
like
got,
Molly
like-
May involved with the
There's
same
some
24
random
hours in a
communist
day or
songs.
whatever. But like,
Yeah, I just found
you're
some
poor,
random
just buy a
communists
house.
online. So.
if you're poor, just buy a house. We have the same 24 hours in a day anyway.
Oh my god, we'd be like Wally. Apart from
Exactly.
we don't trash
No,
the world.
I said this to Georgia earlier. I was like, you need to add in for the climate change thing, or we're gonna end up like Wally. And no, because you see what happens to those people.
The ones on the
They
ship.
all can't do anything. They all
Yes, because they
live
eat too
there
much.
in their little floating beds.
I would
clicking
love that.
buttons.
I don't know about you.
But you
Actually, I don't know about
wouldn't.
you.
Love that.
But you wouldn't. Would you rather be able to do what you do now and go and do all these amazing things? Have all? I mean, I
They still
appreciate
can.
there's.
They're just in a seat constantly. I mean, it sounds like a good idea to
I
me.
but then,
But
at this
then-
point, neither of you are going to see eye to eye on this at all.
That's going back to the debate.
Yeah,
Going back to social
but there's
media.
not going to be any, like, you're still going to, like, see.
I nearly transformed him earlier into a bought Google.
No, Madison nearly transformed. When she said about the fact that it wouldn't be one person per robot, it'd be one person controlling all the robots. That is the biggest issue, and I do realise that. So I'll do my final conclusion. To conclude, I think still robots cool. I think that we could come up with a solution that would help people who would become jobless. I think feel like it will be inevitable because it's happening already. We still already are getting robots that are going into warehouses already and already in factories with the little robot arms. So I think it already happened. So I think like we just got to embrace it and hope for the best. That's what I think.
Good point.
I think everything has its positives and its negatives. Absolutely everything does. So you're right, there are definitely some positives. But my overall opinion is just get rid of it.
So no.
Cool.
Fair enough. Millie, Madison?
We're not allowed to say it.
It's just me and Elliot having a massive argument about robots.
Like, what are you going with? Negative, positive?
I think they're bad.
Okay.
Oh my god. Don't even.
I just want to drop off the face of society, become a retreatalist
Audience.
hippie, and then
Audience.
not have to worry about any debates
Audience.
like this.
Who is on my side here? Everyone behind the cameras too. Who is on my side?
Right, hands up.
I've got one person on my side. Who else wants to be a robot? Come on. 2 robots. 2 robots. Any more
They
robots?
want to be a
3
robot.
robots. I got 3 robots. Any more robots?
No, you bullied him into putting his hand up. He went down and you went 3, and he was like,
I'm leaning towards negative. So, right, give us negative things. No?
Okay, everyone put your hand up if you want robots.
He said no.
Okay.
He
And
said
then put
no.
your hands up if you don't want robots.
I don't even
Negative.
How could you?
That's true, he's a pilot. He
Yeah,
would
but then you
definitely
get paid equally with communism. Okay, never mind.
But then you don't. But I feel like. Okay, sorry, we're getting back into it again. But I feel like one of the kind of things that is nice about life. I mean, certain people I appreciate. Some people have certain opportunities and other people don't. But if you achieve something now, it's chances are you've worked for it. So it's nice if you get a higher paying job, chances are you've probably worked for it, so it kind of pays off. If you're a communist, you have nothing to work for, you have nothing to look forward to because everything's the same.
Okay, we're going back into it, but my final comment on that is the thing is the people that do get qualified for things is probably jobs that robots can't take. But I'm talking about taking
Like
jobs
lawyers and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
lawyers, and if you're
robots
going
lawyers.
into university to get a degree in something, assumingly a robot can't take it. I'm talking about the stuff like I said, binmen, warehouses, all the stuff that probably the lower end of people who haven't got degrees or haven't done very much education and could probably do better lives because they won't be stuck and trapped into these pretty much sweatshop conditions like the ones at Amazon, and they're finally be able to free and to do something else. I don't know what they'll do, I don't know what jobs they'll do, I don't know how they're going to get money, but they'll be happier, and that's what fun.
Cool, so right, moving on. Our next topic is femininity. So one of the main things that I kind of wanted to talk about was the idea that males are more dressing more feminine, making a stand, breaking the stereotype of more masculinity as such. So what do you guys think of that?
I think it's great. I think it's a great thing to do. I
Yeah,
feel like
100%.
people are becoming more confident and more themselves. I feel like
They're
these
allowed
times.
to be true to themselves.
Yeah, I feel like these are the most free times in history because of social media and because of the online place. I feel like many people are more comfortable because if you want to be transgender, there's a whole community now for that you could probably
People
feel a
are
lot
way
more
more
safe.
accepting.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
And I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, I feel the same. Yeah, I think
Same.
just wear what you want. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
same,
think.
same line.
Yeah, I don't think clothes have a gender, so I don't think you should say
100%.
skirts for girls.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to come to Millie last time. I feel like I know what she's going to bring up. So I'm going to go to Chloe.
Karen?
Okay.
predict me like that.
I think go for it. I think it's a really revolutionary thing because it's obviously come about a lot more recently, as in within the last decade maybe. And I think it's great. I mean, I think people have become a lot more accepting of the idea of more feminine men, and equally with more masculine women. I think people have just kind of
Both ends, yeah.
yeah, I think people have kind of just started to really defy the stereotypes, and other people who may have originally been more judgmental about it have become a lot more accepting because it's just part of life, and I think people should be able to do what they want and go there.
Yeah, 100%.
Millie!
This is like one of my favorite topics that I could talk about this for days because I don't know, I'm just passionate about it. But I think clothing is such a like art form, and like the way you like I personally, I don't know if anyone else does this, I can tell a person by what they're wearing.
Yeah.
So say someone comes up to me with like, I don't know, holes in their socks and holes in their shirts and just looking a little rough. I'm like, okay, I'll have a quick conversation with you and then probably move along. But then if I see
But
a
isn't that quite
well-dressed,
like judgmental on somebody?
Yeah.
probably.
Like that's quite.
Yeah.
Definitely. I
Because-
mean, like, as in the sense of maybe I'm just coming off of personal experiences because I know.
Yeah, fair enough.
I've met people that dress. Okay, this is very stereotypical.
You dress
of me.
based on your personality, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. People dress based on the personality, and I think what you wear says a lot about you and your comfortability in your own skin, in your own gender, and your own sexuality. So, on the sense of men wearing more feminine clothes, I think it kind of, to me, it proves that they are comfortable with who they are and what they want to be.
They're able
Yeah.
to be true to themselves. and they, like,
Exactly.
It's admirable that they can do that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of misconceptions that men that do dress more femininely are often gay, which isn't the case at all because
100%.
obviously I know a lot of like
It's like
straight
they've broken
people.
one stereotype and then they've built another stereotype.
Yeah,
from that.
exactly. It's so
Frustrating
bizarre because why are we putting a gender on clothes? Like they don't have genitals, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Like I don't understand why we've said, okay, right, this clothing's for girls, this clothing's for boys. Like heels, for example. If you go all the way back to like Tudor, Victoria times, men were wearing heels so that they look taller. Yeah, I just think it's strange that it's come to a point where we're judging people on what they're wearing and not even just what they're wearing, like what they're doing. So like wearing
Skincare and
nails, doing
everything.
skincare is another thing. I think
Skincare's a massive thing.
you really need to look after your body, and the fact that even putting lip balm on
It's
has been
about people putting a
feminized.
label on these things which are like
Exactly, like
Yeah.
basic hygiene, basically, like washing your skin, making sure like your
and yet
hygiene
that's
is
like
good.
associated with being a more feminine thing.
Exactly,
Except
and
it's not.
I don't understand it personally. I think it's if you look after yourself, then you come across better. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
What's your
'Cause you
biggest
just-
reason for why people,
Yeah.
males, what is your biggest reason to think that a male should be more adventurous and change the way that they look? What's your biggest reason? Is it
Well-
because of the hygiene thing? Is it because they are more friendly to talk to? Is it what is,
No.
which one is it?
Just as long as they don't use
My-
18 in one.
No, not the 3-in-1 shampoos. No, it's not a thing that I'm pushing. Like, I'm not saying, oh my, you have to wear more feminine clothes, you have to look after your skin. I just think it's a case of if a man was to dive into skincare and look after his skin and even experiment with makeup, I think people should not then turn around and slander them for it. You know what I mean? So
Let
they
people
shouldn't
do what they want. Like at the end of the
Exactly.
day.
It's going back to the smoking and vaping thing. It's letting people do what they want to do
What they feel
with the
comfortable
body
doing
they
and
were
what makes
given.
them
Yeah,
happy.
Exactly.
That's a very interesting way of thinking.
Thank you.
Because I am quite experimental. I do hygiene.
Mm-hmm.
I dress in some could say peculiar ways. But I don't do it because of like a thing of, well, what's your reason for why like doing it? Yours like
Expressionism.
expressionism, yeah, to
Yeah.
look different. I do it because, well, originally the main reason why I've changed the way that I look and the way that I take care of myself is because what others think. The sheer difference I had from changing my clothing style to changing the way that I look, the way that I dress, the way that I take care of myself, has changed the way of everyone around me.
Yeah.
People became so much nicer to me when I started to dress differently. People became so much more approachable. They didn't stay away from me. Mums would come up to me with their children. Things like that. Like I like people like I was walking around in the club and then this girl and their mum just complimented my outfits. Some days I'd wear something that would be less approachable, maybe just like grey joggers, a black hoodie. people would then stay a bit further away from me. And I feel like the whole stigma around that is
Yeah.
really, really interesting.
Yeah,
But I feel like,
like-
that is the main reason that I've changed. Is not because I'm going to enjoy it more for myself, but more because I enjoy having everyone around me
as
kind of
I
enjoy
said, that
it more.
surely has got to make you happier, like not just because like
Yeah,
it, like
in that
surely you'll do
sense.
it, like I feel like you wouldn't just do it just so you could like be a part of like society, be like better in society. Like you've got to be doing it for yourself as well.
At the start, it was for others, though. At the start, it was for others. Well, it was more.
So does
I
that
was
not,
experimenting with different things.
Okay, yeah.
I was being more free, and then I was just like, people kind of just won't insult you, and I can just be myself, and people will come up to me and compliment
So
me,
yeah,
and I
you're
can have a
saying,
conversation
like,
with
yourself,
these
like
people.
this is
Yeah.
somebody that you knew you were like
Yeah.
more happier, like
Yeah.
being that sort of person.
Nowadays, I love fashion, and I love
Yeah, because
looking
I
into
think
it.
it'd be kind of like harsh if people just started doing it like just to kind of fit in, like be better in society and that. Like you've got to do
Yeah.
what you want to do at the end of the
Yeah.
day.
My message. That
Eventually.
was a bit Boris thing too. I was like, my message is simply that it's not just about like dressing differently just because you want to make yourself try something new to make yourself look cool.
Yeah.
It's about comfort and also
Definitely.
about how people approach you and act differently, which is kind of weird and kind of like bad
I
for our
kind of think
society.
that's
it is
what
definitely a bad habit.
Millie means by you dress
Yeah.
how your personality is. Like you said, ever since you started dressing how you wanted to dress, a lot more people were coming up to you and approaching you. And that's because the fact that you're a nice person, the fact that we know that, clearly translates in the way that you dress, so it translates to other people who don't know you personally
Yeah.
that he's a nice
But I
person.
still think, like, with society, I still think if a roadman, someone a bit on that end,
Bit of
dressed
Sarah.
a bit nicer, they'd be approachable. Even if they did
Definitely.
have a bit
So
of...
it's
but
kind of
maybe
like-
they're not
like it's
approachable
bad
and
that,
not
like people are
vulnerable.
judging just based on like outfit choices, like even just out of the idea of femininity and
Yeah,
masculinity. Like
I think-
it's bad that people are putting a stereotype on what people wear.
Definitely,
I know it's
definitely.
something that everybody does,
Yeah.
but I still think it's like you
It's
like
a
both of you
stereotype
said,
we should
it's
try
like
to stay away from.
Still, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah. Nowadays I do it more because of myself and more towards being happier in my own skin, and it's very fun. Fashion's fun.
Yeah,
Fashion's so much
definitely.
fun.
I
It's
think
so
there's
fun.
also this
It's
massive.
not a
No.
feminine thing. It's definitely just
No.
anybody.
Yeah, I
like-
think
And I
there's-
think it's also like a control thing. Sorry, Chloe, carry on.
I was just gonna say, I think there's this massive stigma around the idea of fashion being like a girly, feminine thing.
Definitely.
And I don't think it has to be. I mean, I appreciate it kind of has originated from a more, female, feminine kind of origin. But that doesn't mean it has to be like that now. Like
We evolve as a society,
you evolve as a society, and now I think most people feel kind of comfortable in dressing how they want because it's been so accepted, and it's not just fashion is for girls and sports are for boys kind of thing anymore.
Yeah.
It's like a just do what you want.
Yeah,
if
it's
what
so
makes
much
you
bigger
happy.
though than fashion itself. It's like, I think like, I'm comforted by being able to change my clothing, to change
Yeah.
opinion, because I like to have that ability to have change in my life. Because like, sometimes you feel very bricked in, you're studying all week, then you got work, and then that's your entire life, and it becomes a slow blur. And to have the ability to then be like,
Yeah.
no, today I want to
It's
dress
an
like this,
escape.
today I want
Yeah.
this kind of haircut. It's really refreshing to have, and it's just really enjoyable to be able to do that. It's not good for my bank account.
No.
It's not
good for my bank account, I'll tell you that
We
much.
don't promote fast fashion.
We don't promote fast fashion,
We
no.
don't love fast fashion.
No.
One thing I will say about femininity is you get a lot like performative activists who, like we said earlier, are posting about all these issues but not actually doing anything about it. I think it's really similar with, I guess you could say, like performative femininity. So there's these men that preach that they're a feminist. They're like, oh, I paint my nails, that makes me a feminist. But a lot of them aren't quite getting the idea of,
People need to educate themselves first
Yeah.
as opposed to just jumping on like a
yeah,
stereotype.
a bandwagon.
exactly, jumping
Yeah.
on a bandwagon, claiming they're a feminist because they paint their nails.
Without
Yet
knowing
they
any of the
won't
background.
discuss.
That's like the same
shared
thing with like
house
yeah.
jobs.
Yeah.
That's like the
You
same
know,
thing with
That
like
is a
Black
whole
Lives
other
Matter.
topic for a whole other time though.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to start talking about that.
Men
That would go
men
in.
baking. Men doing the cooking
yeah.
and the cleaning, the women's jobs, and then the women going out and getting the bank, the men's jobs go.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting also to see how the backlash is different. It's like you guys and your type of perspective things with backlash against like stuff like that. But then on the other perspective, you also have people who would backlash against like what you're saying too.
Yeah.
Like I feel like also like to mention again like, if I was to check, well, when I changed, it was like amazing how people would come up to me and be way more comfortable around me. But this wasn't also with its own share of awfulness. Like, you'd still have people look at your painted
Looking
nails
at you
and be
weirdly
like,
when you walk past.
as a male, you'd still have people who would
There is still a long way for society to go to like,
like people would treat me differently in a nicer way, but people would treat me in a not nice way because they wouldn't like the way that I dressed.
Yeah, this is where toxic masculinity comes in,
Yeah.
and the whole patriarchal view that men have to be these tough warriors, and they go out and make money, they look after their family, but not
Just
that's
the
more the mother's
stereotypes.
role.
Yeah.
Exactly, and I think men today have such. I think equally women and men have a tough time, but men have such a
Role.
yeah, they need to be tough, and they need to.
Live up to the standards.
Yeah, they have to be the protector, and they have to be above everyone, and just so much stronger. But this
boys
is,
don't cry and stuff
Exactly,
like that.
the boys don't cry. But this is where men's mental health will deteriorate, and because they have to constantly put up a front and be the strong man, be the bigger man. But when, I found it in secondary school. This was a while ago. I was in an argument with a boy, and it wasn't even an argument, something had happened and he got upset over it. But instead of telling me that he was upset about what happened, he threw a can at a door and then stormed away. If he didn't feel the need to not
Be a man.
be the dominant man in that situation and not show his emotions, then that situation would have gone a whole different route, and we could have talked things out, and everything would have been not fine, but it would have been resolved. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Final question. Final question. So, I was walking to the Tesco's near us, and on my walk there, I was dressed up in a way that isn't quite feminine. And on my walk there, I was just talking on video snap, just talking to someone.
Oh,
And you know what this is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was walking down, car drives past me, back window of it opens, I see probably a 10-year-old boy drive past. What's up, queer boy? Going past. How are we going to deal with stopping young kids from still keeping this kind of ideal of
we
clothes for
educate
girls,
the
feminines for
parents.
girls, masculine for boys?
I think-
How are we going to deal with this?
Bringing it into the education system.
100%.
Because I feel like that is okay.
It doesn't get enough
they haven't
representation
got
at
the need to,
school. It's
Is it-
like
is
there's,
it- yeah.
there's posters
Definitely.
and banners up and boards or whatever being like, love yourself.
But it's so easy to
like,
look at that and
like
not take it in.
LGBTQ posters
Yeah.
and, don't have to be a man posters and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
They're,
And
like,
it's
trying to
great,
sit
but no
with
one
it.
reads it.
No.
Unless you're solidly teaching me about it and teaching me the pros of it and why it's necessary in our society, then I'm not trying to be frank, but people who are like that 10-year-old boy are just going to ignore it.
Of course, that was a very, very good point, but I am going to have to stop you there as we are running very low on time. I've just got one more thing before we kind of stop this debate today. In light of the current events and stuff, Boris Johnson, should he stay? Should he go? If I start, Chloe, and I'll go around.
I mean, I think we're all going to say the same thing, but I think go.
Yeah? Millie?
Should I stay or should I go? Bye-bye.
Cheerio.
I think he'll stay, but I want him to go.
Right.
I think he'll
Yeah, I was
stay.
going to say, I think he will end up staying. But
I think
he
he'll end
should
up
go.
staying, but he's going to go.
So on overall, it's
Georgia, what do you
Boris.
think?
We want him to go, but he'll probably stay. That's what I think.
I have no opinion. I don't really know a lot about
I don't
it,
pay much
but
attention,
I-
but from what I've
from what I've
heard-
heard, yeah, I'm with you guys on that 100%. Cool. So thank you for coming to this debate today. It's been really good, and thank you guys for watching it. Make sure you like and subscribe. And also, somebody is getting a skunk, and we need some name ideas. It's a boy, so if you can comment any name ideas below, that'd be
Or
really
a
cool.
skunk.
A skunk, guys.
A skunk.
That's a
boy's
thing.
skunk.
You can get a skunk pet.
Cool.
Cool.
Bye.
Bye. See you later.